Hi everyone, it's Maddie Calzon again with video number 5. So we have the domain is number and operations dash fractions. It's cluster number 1 and we will use equivalent fractions as a strategy to add and subtract fractions. Our first concept will be add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators, including mixed numbers, by replacing given fractions with equivalent fractions in such a way as to produce an equivalent sum or difference of fractions with like denominators. That's a big mouthful, but you'll see it's not as hard as it sounds. Our second concept, we will solve word problems involving addition and subtraction of fractions referring to the same whole, including cases of unlike denominators, by using visual models or equations to represent the problem. So let's get started. Here we have our first example for a first concept. We have the fractions 2/3 plus 1/4. Now, with fractions, we cannot add fractions when they have different denominators. And as we can see, 4 and 3 are not the same number. So we need to change them so they both will have the same denominator. And the way we do that is we find a common multiple. So what we'll do is we'll say, okay, 3, and then we'll do the next multiple, which is 6. Then we do 9, 12, and 15. I like to do about 3 or 4 multiples and list them out. Now we'll do the 4 multiple, and we want to find the least common multiple they have in common. So now we go 4, 4, 8, 12. Okay, well already I can see that they share this multiple in common. So what we want to do is we want to get these fractions up here to have 12 as its new denominator. So we need to multiply. So in order to get 12 for the first fraction, we had to do 1, 2, 3, 4 multiples to get to 12. So we want to do 2 over 3, and we want to multiply the bottom by 4. And to keep these fractions the same, because we don't want to change the value, we just want to convert it to a fraction that we can actually manipulate, we want to multiply both sides by 4, top and bottom, because 4 over 4 equals 1. And 1 times anything gets you the same anything. So we convert this, so we have 3 times 4, which we know is 12, our like denominator, and 2 times 4, which is 8. So that's our new fraction for the left-hand side. Now we look at 1/4. We had to do 1, 2, 3 multiples to get to 12, so we have 1/4. We multiply by 3, whatever we do to the bottom, we got to do to the top, times 3, so we have 4 times 3, which is 12, our like denominator, and then 1 times 3 is 3. So that's our new fraction for the right. So now we want to do is add them, now that we both have the same denominator. So 8/12 is here. We add it to 3/12, and that equals, we don't add the 12s because we're adding the fraction, so the 12 stays the same, the denominator, and 8 plus 3 is 11. So our answer is 11/12. And that's all there is to it. We'll do some more examples on the next slide so we can get a strong grasp on it, and hopefully everyone will get these right. So I'm going to have you pause the video and work this out on a separate sheet of paper. And don't be nervous about the subtraction. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to subtract the numbers, but I'm going to give you a challenge, so hopefully we can get these right. Hopefully everyone was able to get down the answer. I'm sure you all did great. Let's go through them together and check our work. So we have on the left, we have 1/2 plus 3/4. So we look at the denominators. Are they the same? No. So we need to convert them, and we need to find the least common multiple. So let's start with 2. So we have 2, we can do 4. Oh, do I have to go any further? Nope, because 4 and 4 are the same. So the least common multiple in this case is 4, which will be our common denominator. So we need to convert the rest of the fractions. So we have 1/2, and we did it 2 times to get it, so times 2. Whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do the top, times 2 on the top, which will get us our common denominator 4, and then our 2 as our numerator, because 1 times 2. So that would be our one fraction. Now we look at this one. Well, as you can see, it already has 4 as its denominator, so we don't have to do anything. We can just take it as it is. So we do 2/4 plus 3/4. To get our final answer, which we keep when we're adding fractions, we keep the 4 the same, the denominator. We add the top, 3 plus 2 is 5, and that is our final answer. Now some of you may have noticed that this is an improper fraction. Do not worry, we're just going to keep it like this for now, because our main focus is just to be able to get common denominators, so we're not going to worry about the improper fraction. Okay, so for our challenge problem, we are subtracting. And it's the same thing, we're just going to subtract at the end instead of add. So, let's look. We have our 25 and 5. Now these are not the same number, so we need to convert. So let's start with the 5. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, I don't have to go any further. I have the 25 and the 25. So now I can convert these fractions and subtract. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times to get that. So it's 1/5 times 5. And then whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do the top times 5. So we have 1 times 5 is 5. And 5 times 5 is 25, which is our common denominator. Now we look at this one. Do we have to change this? No, because this one already has 25 as its denominator, so we can just go ahead and subtract. This is the only part that's different from addition. So we have our 6/25 minus our new fraction right here, which is our 5/25, which will get us our answer of 1/25. So I'm sure we all did great on this. I hope we did. Let's go to the overview and wrap this lesson up. Okay, so now that we've learned that concept, we will move on to this new concept. So we're just going to use what we've learned and apply it with word problems. So we have this word problem. Maria is hungry and decides to eat whatever is in the fridge. There is 6/7 of leftover pizza in the fridge. Maria eats 1/4 of that leftover pizza. How much is left? So it's asking us how much is left, and if she ate 1/4 of the 6/7, we should subtract 1/4 from 6/7. Okay, so let's get started. So obviously we can tell that 4 and 7 are not the same number. So we need to convert them to get a least common multiple so we can get our common denominator, so our LCM. So let's do this. So let's start with the 7. We'll do 7, 14, 21, and 28. Okay, we did about 3. That seems good. Let's go over here. We have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Still nothing. Let's see if we can keep going and find something. 24, 28. Oh, I see something. We have a 28 here and a 28 here. So we found our least common multiple, which is 28, which will be our common denominator. Now let's convert. So we have our 6/7. We did 1, 2, 3, 4 to get there. So times 4 by the bottom, times 4 by the top. So we have 28 and we have 24. So we have 24 over 28 as our first fraction. Now we have 1/4. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So we do times 7 by the bottom. times 7 by the top. We have 7 over 28 as our other fraction, so we do 24 minus 7 all over 28. We subtract that to get 17 over 28. So Maria had 17/28 left of her pizza. Left of her pizza. Okay, so we're going to go on to our example, and let's pause the video and see if we can get this one right. I'm sure we will, and we'll do it together afterwards. So hopefully we were all able to get an answer. Let's go ahead and do this together. So Sarah is sick and needs it to drink cranberry juice. She has 7/8 of a quart of cranberry juice in her fridge, but only drinks 1/3 of a quart. How much cranberry juice does she have left? So this is another subtraction problem we can tell. She had 7/8 of a quart, and then she drank 1/3 of it. So we're going to do 7/8 minus the 1/3 she drank to get how much cranberry juice was left. So we look at this and we see that the denominators are not the same. So we got to find our LCM, which will turn into our common denominator. So let's do our multiples. We have 8, 16, 24, and 32. Let's do our 3. We have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 24. Oh, excuse me, not 24. That was silly. 21, then 24. So I found our least common multiple, which would be 24. So let's convert these fractions to get our common denominator. So we have 7/8. We did 1, 2, 3 to get there, so times 3 on the bottom, times 3 on the top. So we have 21/24. So now we look to our next fraction, 1/3. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 multiples to get there, so times 8 times 8. We have 24, 8 over 24. Okay, so these are our fractions. So we started with the 21/24 that she had in our fridge. She drank 8/24. And now we are going to subtract the 2. So then we get our final answer of 13/24. So that's how much cranberry juice Sarah had left. So all the concepts have been taught. Now we're at our overview. We did it. We learned how to add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators. We found our least common multiple, and then we were able to use that multiple to find a common denominator and convert the fractions to get our answer. So, like the example we had earlier, we have 1/2 to 3/4. We had 2, 4, found our least common multiple. We can keep this as it is. We do 1/2 times 2, because we had 1, 2, times 2, gets us 2/4. We do 3/4 plus 2/4 to get 5/4. Even though that's an improper fraction, we were just focusing on finding our least common multiple to make our denominators the same, so that's fine for now. And then we were able to use this concept to answer real-world problems involving fractions with unlike denominators. So I think we did a great job today, guys. I hope this was helpful. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be doing more videos soon.